What are we wishing for that we need to be careful? Answer: what benefits you and you alone? Start seeing a bigger picture, one that moves you beyond the personal into the interpersonal. What are we wishing for that benefits us alone? Answer: greed, confusion, too many eggs in one basket, too much. You wish for too much. Time to go within. Discover what feels lacking on the inside to find relief. What do we need to know about our greed? Answer: there is too much focus on money, on gain, on having influence over others. You need to get out of this trap. Find another way. Find something else to focus on that moves you forward. Make goals for yourselves, not just ones that affect you personally, but ones that impact the whole. You mentioned our being trapped. How do we get out of this trap? Answer: focus on ways to do things without needing money to do them. Change your priorities. When you change your priorities, the external world will move to align with them. Change the system from the inside out, rather than having change come from a top-down place. When change arrives from a top-down place, you do not truly benefit. Such change goes to support a hierarchy where someone other than you is on top. The will of the few, rather than the desire of the many, tends to dominate. How can we start doing things without money? Answer: be creative. Be part of the system, but use it minimally. Find things to do that don't cost anything. Let go of treating everything and everyone as transactional, as a commodity. Treat those around you, life and nature, like they matter. Be willing to go outside your comfort zone, to bond with others and nature more fully. Appreciate what has gone unappreciated. Is there anything else you want to share on this topic? Answer: systemic abuses. The corruption without mirrors what is unhealed within. Audience capture. What do you mean by audience capture? Answer: people feel pressured into being disingenuous for profit. People are not themselves because they are afraid of what they could lose of power, money, reputation, or relationships. This is coming from the top down, since you live your lives abiding by a system or culture and its rules, norms, and demands. These norms and demands make you afraid to be yourself. To get out of this trap, you have to risk being more genuine. What do you have to lose? Who is affected by audience capture? Answer: everyone. Everyone has been captured. It all trickles down. It is embedded in your complacency, which leads you to accept a trap rather than trying to get out of it. You can end up talking endlessly about the ways you feel trapped, never focusing on the tools or means at your disposal to free yourself. Many of you hope that the exposure of truth will create the means for you. There is the need for those of you who command an audience to feel brave enough to become a way shower, showing the way out of complacency, out of the conditioning that demands you remain captured. We understand the difficulty you have with openly and honestly talking about letting go of a system on a platform which is helping you game it. This is the meaning of audience capture. What does it mean to game the system? Answer: using the rules, loopholes, or mechanics of a system to gain an advantage. What are some steps we can take to get out of doing this? Answer: go within. Make new priorities. Examine the system for what it really is and how it affects you. Its effects are not minimal. They are addictive. Learn to see things from a different lens or perspective. Prioritize the inner over the outer. Find things you can do that don't engage you in the system or its economy. Grow something. Join with others in community. Go back to basics. If the system collapses, what will you do? How will you cope? Find a way. Don't wait for an event to happen to push you in this direction. Allow this direction to arise from within. Do it in steps. You don't have to master everything overnight. You just have to be willing to learn something new, a little at a time. Don't get disappointed or discouraged too easily. It's a completely new learning process for you. It has ups and downs. Support small businesses. Give it a go. What do you have to lose? What do you have to gain? Who are you allowing to gain when you support what is top down rather than bottom up? Treat economy like it's a game with winners and losers. The winners are on top and the losers miss out. Ask how you can game the system so that everyone wins, or how you can create more balance. Try to create more balance through a bottom-up rather than a top-down approach. When you continuously serve the top becomes your master. But when you make an effort to create balance through supporting what is lower on the hierarchy of power, you help to even power out. You are powerful, more than you know. Each of you has a role to play, and each of you serves something greater than yourself. Anything else we need to know on this topic? Answer: there is too much greed in the world, too much lack of purpose and going along with the crowd. Be more willing to let go of what everyone else is doing, to experiment with something new. But don't we need to be able to survive? Find another way. Don't wait for events to happen to force you to find other ways. Through trauma, begin to find solutions that come from the inside out, through letting your spirit take the lead. Pay attention to the voice within you, that feeling of disturbance, that tells you something is out of alignment, that something is out of balance. Recognize where power is out of balance or is being abused, over you, over others. Pay attention to that quiet voice. Ask it for solutions. What can you do to ease the pain? How can you deal with cognitive dissonance, not just your own, but that of others in the world around you? Not just by denying it, but by employing it as a guide. Let go of too much aggression. How are we too aggressive? Answer: war. You are too aggressive for your own good. Take the path of least resistance, which is a path of passive resistance. You don't need a revolution to change things. You just need to decide to create change from the inside out, as opposed to waiting for something external to create change for you. Overcoming your tendencies towards aggression will require you to embody more of what you are, an angel in human form. What do you mean when you say we are an angel in human form? Each of you is an angel in human form. Know this deep within your soul. Don't allow yourself to be treated casually, like you don't matter, like you aren't as good as others, as intelligent as others, or as worthy as others. Recognize how you've been part of a hierarchy that is falling away. People are tired of this hierarchy. People are tired of seeing the world in terms of winners and losers, where someone else is always on top, and the top is always abusing power. This is a natural result of imbalance. Too much power in one direction results in the temptation to abuse it. When power is distributed more evenly, it is less likely to be abused. Recognize where you are in an abusive relationship with power, with those who hold too much of it. You allow yourself to be abused because you don't know your own power within. See the corruption in the world as internal. The corruption represents your lack of integrity, individually and as part of a collective consciousness. It represents your lack of harmony with nature, others, and within yourselves. Your lack of feeling of wholeness. Feeling unwhole and unworthy is how the game starts. This game is one of masters and servants, winners and losers, and chances to propel yourself up a variety of ladders. This is also you can see yourself as more than. Instead, see yourself as enough, whole, loved, lovable. Don't pay attention to the world when it tries to tell you who you are. Don't fall for labels. Don't be greedy for attention or approval. Be yourself and allow others to be themselves at the same time. All of the problems of the world are solvable. You just have to have the right incentive. You have to want to solve them. You are too comfortable with what is and what doesn't serve your best interest or higher purpose. Trust you have a higher purpose that is created just for you. You are also part of one created for the collective, to learn, to experience enlightenment. See how what benefits you and what benefits the whole are one. If you perceive something benefits you that doesn't benefit the whole, then it isn't truly benefiting you on some level. Be more alert to what is happening at an ecological level. Pay attention to the fruits being produced. Understand that you will know what benefits or disadvantages the whole of life from the fruits that manifest and impact it. Pay attention to the fruits that greed, neglect, and convenience manifest on the entire vine of life. If greed corrupts the environment you reside in, how can it truly benefit you at a more personal level? If you can look deeper, you will see that your greed does you a disservice. Are you truly happy chasing after the pot of gold at the end of a rainbow you can never reach? Have you ever wondered if there was another way? Have you wondered whether part of your purpose is to find it? Be open to changing how you think about money. It is about exchange, true, but it's about a lot more than this. It can feel like a trap. It can lock you into patterns and ways of being that are centered around survival rather than purpose. But what if there was another way? The path for the way shower isn't necessarily going to be easy or convenient, but it will be easier over time for those who choose to follow. It will be worthwhile in the long term. Can technology be part of this path? Answer: paths are open and available to have what you want, including making use of technology and its advancements, without succumbing to the current system and its way of doing things. Trust that you can have and create what you want in a way that doesn't traumatize you, that doesn't make you aggressive or incompatible toward other humans and life on the planet. Use technology with consideration for the collective good, not merely personal convenience or gain. When used consciously, technology can serve both humanity and the living world, restoring balance rather than disrupting it. This starts by asking for it, and by creating demand for what truly serves. For instance, you can create demand for off-grid power that doesn't serve polluters, exploiters, and the big monopolies. You can create demand through using your voice or using less of what you don't align with. Remember that sustainable and off-grid power sources have the potential to supply power to those in poverty without costing them anything. In this way, it can help you solve larger social issues and overcome inequalities. Instead of asking those who benefit from your dependency on power companies to solve problems, find your own way out. Work in community with others to solve problems in the world. Let go of waiting for a savior or someone outside of you to do it for you. Be willing to take care of one another. Think of your relationship with hierarchies of power like a family. When you grow up, you become ready to leave home. You don't need your parents anymore to do everything for you. You branch off, accept responsibilities, and create your own families, ones where you play a caregiver role. You just have to think in new ways. Thinking in new ways will allow the right systems and technologies to arise that can help and support you to turn new dreams and goals into something more achievable. Even in the area of agriculture, feeding others, and reducing dependency on supermarkets, you can create demand for innovative solutions. Be inventive with coming up with and implementing technologies that can make growing your own food easier. You can also help to educate others. This can help those struggling with food insecurity. It can also help those worried about food impurities or forms of monopolization that impact agriculture and product placement. If you feel inadequate when it comes to growing your own food, opt for supporting small farmers and local growers. However, remember that the best way to overcome your tendency to be disconnected and negligent concerning nature is to reconnect with her in some form, even if it's through taking a small step, such as planting a flower. Become beekeepers and pollinators. Bees help fertilize seeds to produce fruit. They work in community. Learn the symbols that help you to return your focus to life energy. Gently shift your attention away from constant interference with nature, away from what carries an anti-life current and separates you from what is alive. Be willing to detach, even slightly, from electronics, addictions, and unending work. Do not burn yourself out trying to survive. Find a more productive path. Most important, find ways to be more happy, more natural, more joyful. Trust that you deserve it. Serve something greater than yourself, but make sure it is something you respect rather than distrust. Serve something you value rather than what you don't and what doesn't value you, such as the current system of power. What if it becomes illegal to go off-grid, live without technology, or do some of these other things? Answer: it is never illegal to help your fellow man. Learn to do it discreetly and in ways that don't cause too much offense. They can't make it illegal to care. Will some of these things become illegal in the future? Answer: learn to work with what you have. If it should become illegal, or if aspects should become illegal, trust you can work the energy out through the law of supply and demand. Be careful what you are demanding, wishing for. Make different choices and watch the world change to accommodate those choices. If enough people choose different, the world has to comply. It has to change to fit a new paradigm of thinking. Everything is an economy. Life operates by demand. A demand cycle creates a supply. This is a law of attraction in action. Supply and demand doesn't have to involve money. It can involve desire or convenience. Problems arise when behavior, lifestyles, and desires become automatic rather than thoughtfully chosen. Learn to see how your automatic choices, desire for convenience, and unconscious participation in economic systems generate particular outcomes. Start with the outcome you want and move backwards to learn how you can go about creating it. What mentality is necessary? What do you need to desire and demand for yourselves? Do the same for what you feel is being supplied. If what you are being offered is something unhealthy or that you don't want, ask for something different, not just with words, but with what you're willing to give up or won't settle for. Where has convenience rather than true desire led to consequences or a non-beneficial form of supply arising in the world? See the supply as fruits of your thinking and efforts as a collective. Each of you who think and act similarly play a role in supply and demand, even if your thoughts and actions were unconscious and automatic rather than thought out and tested. Start being more responsible for the effects you create as individuals and as a collective. Trust that you can do it. You just haven't had the space to think in these terms. Everything has been handed to you, including how to think and the systems and labels you've been directed to work with. You've never learned to challenge what has come from the top down. Most of you never imagined you had permission to do so. Believe in magic. Come up with a plan of action. Be peaceful, but be active. Be proactive. See life as a dream in which you can become lucid. It is easier to have choice and free will when you are awake within a dream environment. It is harder to take advantage of the energy of choice when you are carried away with the dream, unconsciously going wherever it leads you. Allow yourself to wake up a little. Any last message for us? Answer: you are supported. We believe in you. You are doing the best you can with what you know. Don't judge yourselves too harshly. Much has been hidden from you. Much has been hidden on purpose. What is important is the disclosure of new truth, the disclosure of new purpose. Allow us to work with you toward it. Together, we can change the world. Our energy also manifests with yours. Whenever you plug into positive intentions of guides and helpers, you are joining energies with theirs to help you change what you are demanding and manifesting in the world. We can play a role in shaping supply and demand with you. We both can grow and change together. You don't have to do it alone. We can support one another. Your enlightenment is not just your own, but a grand experiment, one which we are all part of. Trust this message, and that you are meant to receive it. And remember, we are one.